Welcome to the support videos for Digital Business Automation video series. This video will show you how to validate an MS SQL Server connection with SQL CMD. Control-M Enterprise Manager and Control-M Server base installations, fixed pack installations, and utilities such as the reporting facility all require a database connection. When there are issues with the database connection, you may need to verify username, password, permissions, ports, etc. and just generally check the ability to connect to the database outside of the Control-M application. For an MS SQL Server database, you can use SQL CMD. It's part of the Microsoft client tools and can be found on the SQL Server database's host. You can see in the command prompt on the desktop where it is installed on this machine underneath the SQL Server installation directory tree. It can also be installed separately on other machines. So to use SQL CMD, generally you can just open up command prompt and type the SQL CMD plus whatever parameters you need. You can add a command or add a question mark to get a nice helpful usage statement. Let's do a simple query and test connectivity to our SQL Server database. For something like an install, you may need a privileged user. In this case, I'll make a test connection and query with the SA user. Having entered the command, it prompts me for my password. And I provide it, and it returns the output of a simple query of the databases on this SQL Server instance. So we see that our connection worked, and everything is good. So we'll exit from that SQL prompt. SQL Server can listen on multiple ports. There can be firewall restrictions. You might also be connecting from a remote client, or the Control-M Enterprise Manager or Control-M Server instance might actually be on a different host from the database server host. You can install SQL CMD separately from SQL Server and use it on that remote host to test the remote connections. So in this case, for this test, I am going to connect from the local host, the same machine, so I'll just use local host with the -s parameter, which is what you need. Instead of localhost, you can type a fully qualified name if you're connecting from a remote server. And you also can add the port. You separate it by a comma from the host name. So we'll enter this command. And once I give it the password, you can see that the command worked and again returned the results that we were looking for. So you now know how to use SQL CMD to validate SQL Server connections outside of Control-M, whether from the local server or from a server making a remote connection. That concludes this Control-M Solutions video. The Digital Business Automation Support Team looks forward to helping you when you need our assistance.